Well, we have the IOCCC prize in sound coding, which I thought all of the previous entries had some pretty sound coding, so I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, in some ways you might say that the obfuscated C is not sound coding, but they have to work. So in some ways it is sound in its coding. And so you might
C is a numerical node after all.
It's true. It's true. Well, let's find out what makes this one more sound than the others.
Who won this prize in sound coding?
And the IOCCC prize in sound coding goes to _straadt from Denmark.
Well done, Anders. This was Anders' first IOCCC win. It is a very interesting piece of code, but let's see how you compile Anders' coding. And we see it's a very straightforward thing. It does ask you to have the math library linked in. But otherwise, a pretty straightforward compile line. And the code looks like this. Bunch of functions, a bunch of interesting stuff that goes forward. And some interesting little squiggles and parentheses and so forth to finish. If you look at have Clang try to format it, you get something that looks a little bit better. There is this large main function down here that makes use of these auxiliary functions. There is this very interesting macro as well that does some interesting magic. But you look around here, you see it does have a random function going on here, which is kind of interesting use because of considering what it does. So
well, what
let's
does it
go
do?
and see. Well, for this thing, one has to be certainly patient. But when you start, it said, just a moment, 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 just a moment. And after those moments,
Well, I can see why that was sound coding, Landon.
yes, it is interesting that this particular thing, that entire thing was synthesized with that piece of code. There's some interesting, the kick drums, and there's some, hi-hats there, and has a snare drum. There's a whole frequency modulated synthesis for that wonderful bass.
I quite like the bass line.
Yeah. He used another program to generate some of the constants that were necessary there. It's actually is a pretty interesting set of stuff. It produced a 256 kilohertz aliasing free waveforms that is quite a nice little beat there, don't you think?
I think so. I quite like it. I think yeah. It was caught in my head for a little bit after I heard it.
Yes, and so each layer is an interesting thing to add on to those instruments that are, again, entirely synthesized in that piece of code with some very important constants there that, of course, drive the results. So well done. I think it's quite sound in your coding. Thanks for watching. And before you go, please like and subscribe and check out the social media links in the description below. And if you like, you can support us on Patreon to help us bring you new content so you may enjoy our favorite universe even more.